All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. My name is Shanna Briggs, and I'm going to be co-hosting this overview here with Kathy Enking. I'm going to be leading the first portion of the call, and then we will turn it over to Kathy on the second half. So before we jump in, first, just thank you for being here. I want to invite each of you just to use this time. We're only going to take up about 30 minutes of your time. So I invite you, set aside your other distractions, try not to multitask during this time and just give your attention to this call if you would. We're going to talk about some breakthroughs in science tonight, and whether you choose to utilize these products for yourself or not, my goal for you is that you get to learn something new to help propel your health or someone else's health in your life forward. So a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Shanna. I am a doctor of chiropractic, and I've been an athlete for the past 25 years. So I'm very passionate about health, well-being, and really helping to keep people active. While I'm a chiropractor, it's secretly, or actually it's not a secret, but I love to help people stay out of the chiropractor's office, to stay out of the doctor's office, because they are strong and healthy and vital and just feeling good in their bodies. So with that, I'm going to kind of jump into this presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Okay, sound is on. Oops, excuse me. Try that again. Share the screen. There we go. All right. All right, great. So the company that I'm introducing to you tonight is called LifeVantage, and LifeVantage is on the forefront of a field of science known as nutrigenomics, nutrition for your genes. So I'm looking forward to talking about this. And before we jump into it, just some overall disclosures. So first of all, we are a supplement company. We do not claim to cure, treat, or mitigate any disease processes. And we are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. So it's a network marketing company. Kathy will share a little bit about some annual income earnings for people in the business. And these are just averages. But just because you're in the business, it doesn't have any promises. You got to work it just like anything else in life. You get out what you put into it. So with that said, one of the taglines of the company is flip the switch, feel more and do better. So what does that mean? How does that work? So first of all, let's kind of create this whole paradigm of what we are living in. So we are being hijacked on a daily basis. Our bodies are exposed to heavy metals, minerals, pesticides. We have oftentimes not the most ideal diet if you have processed foods, if you kind of eat on the run. And then we're bombarded within our environment. Pollution, sun damage, household cleaners have chemicals in them, even our makeup, our beauty products. And then we have the stress from life, our relationships, our work stress, financial, if you drink alcohol, smoke, what have you. And then there's the reality of while technology brings us a lot of advances and a lot of, areas to connect this day and age, it also creates stress on our body. We have stimulation, we have EMFs that come, and all of this can affect our mood. So here's a little fact for you. Did you know that since the Industrial Revolution, there has been 85,000 chemicals introduced into our environment? And what's a little bit alarming that I found is that while in Europe, they've banned over 1,500 of these 85,000 chemicals, in the United States, the last I heard, we only had 11 of these 85,000 chemicals banned. So the reality is we are being exposed to these chemicals in our daily life. You can do your best to eliminate them for as much as possible, make some changes. But the reality is that if you're here in the 21st century, you're getting bombarded by some type of stress. And these are what is dimming the lights on our body. So, what does that mean? How does that happen? What it feels like when your body is having your lights dimmed is you have a decrease in your immune system. So you might feel more tired, more run down, experience brain fog, a feeling of sluggishness. You might have a poor mood, just overall lack of motivation. And then that increase of stress and just a general feeling of fatigue. Sound familiar to anybody? So what is really happening in our body to give us that feeling? Tonight, I'm going to introduce you to 3 theories of aging that we're addressing with these products: oxidative stress, our mitochondrial decline and something called sirtuin activity and how those decline. So what's really cool about all of this, and one of the parts that I love sharing and talking about, is that science has had some major discoveries within the last 20 years. And they've discovered that our genes contain an incredible ability to impact our body's health and help our bodies to stay healthy. In 2003, they concluded what was like a 20-year study known as the Human Genome Project. And this is where they found, I think it was like 23,000 genes, where now they've discovered that if you've heard before, maybe even recently, that you are not necessarily the fate of your genes. So just because somebody in your family may have had a heart condition or high cholesterol, they have discovered that there's upwards of 95% of all disease processes that can be prevented or reduced within like lifestyle factors, including our nutrition and nutritional sources that we put into our body. So something to keep in mind, you are not the victim of your genetics. So knowing that, if you knew that you could flip the switch on your genes to help your body to be more vital, would you choose that? I definitely did, and that's why I'm here tonight sharing this information with you. And what we're going to do next is we're going to watch.
You want to get an edge on turning.
It's an ABC primetime that was first aired back in 2005, just 3.5 minutes long, and it's going to give you a general overview of when these products, specifically our flagship product, Protandim NRF2, was first introduced to the general public. So let's go ahead and just watch this video, and then we'll take it over from there.
Back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So, just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
All right, so that's how it all got kicked off and how it was first introduced to the public. At that point in time, Protandim was sold as a retail product on the shelves in supplement stores like GNC. And since then, people didn't really know what it was all about. So they've changed the business model about 10 years ago to this social setting. But let's first jump into, what was he talking about with this oxidative stress? So oxidative stress, like I mentioned, it's our first theory of aging, and it basically impacts the integrity of our cells. So our body has this natural ability to produce its own antioxidants to help fight off this oxidative stress. But unfortunately, because our body's ability of these antioxidants to be produced declines with age and all those other factors that I discussed a few moments ago, the pollutants from the air, from our chemicals, all these things that are dampening our body is then slowing down our body's ability to combat that. So what was the solution? The big breakthrough was this discovery of how we can activate the NRF2 pathway. And the NRF2 pathway is what has been proven to lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. And if you noticed on that ABC investigative report, he came back after only 2 weeks. And at that point, his stress levels were reduced by 45%. So if you're familiar with those types of programs, they are doing those programs in an effort to debunk and to show that there may be some false claims with products. So it's kind of neat in that they found that, like, hey, this actually is doing what it claims. And you can see here it's at a price point of $49.99. And yep, like they said, lowers oxidative stress by that average of 40% in 30 days, helps your body to function better and to feel healthier. So it's like the rusting of your cells. We get to reverse that and help slow down that aging process. All right. And after that aired, there was a lot of interest within the medical community where people were like, what is happening here? And there's a lot of research out there done on these products. And this is a quote that came from one of the studies by Washington State University. NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. So that's a really powerful statement. So here's our approach. You see this graph here. On the left-hand side, on the vertical bar, you have your antioxidant production. And you can see that without Protandim, it naturally declines. The bottom bar is our age. So as we go through life, it naturally declines. When we utilize Protandim, now this helps to maintain our levels of antioxidant production to keep that up over the lifespan and help reduce the decline of aging or advancements of aging. So in regards to the research, one of the things that really sets these products apart is the amount of research that we have available. If you go to pubmed.gov, this is a database utilized by many healthcare professionals, but anybody can access it, and you can type in Protandim. And the last I checked, there were like 28 peer-reviewed studies, and that is really phenomenal, especially for a supplement. I think the next common is like maybe 3 studies on other supplements. So it's a really big deal to have that level of validity behind. One of the studies that really stood out to me was funded by the National Institute on Health, and it was done by the National Institute of Aging. And they have studied lots and lots of supplements over the years. And they found that Protandim is the only supplement that we can say is shown to increase lifespan. They found that mice had 7% increase in their average level of life. And so that was a big deal because there hasn't been another supplement that we can make that claim to. So now we talked about oxidative stress, and now we're going to touch on 2 other theories of aging that these products impact. One is our mitochondrial decline. So if you remember back to science class, mitochondria are like our engines, our powerhouses of our cell. And again, it's common that as we age, as we're hit with all these different stresses and chemicals, the ability for the mitochondria to function declines. So it's like having your cells be out of power and you don't know where to plug in to recharge. So, what do? They found the pathway known as NRF1 that is responsible for the repair and the recreation of these mitochondria to help keep us healthy over the lifespan. And this NRF2 synergizer, it can impact the NRF1 genes by nearly 70%. So that's a really big deal. Mitochondria are a big deal when it comes to anti-aging to really help us to stay vital and healthy and to keep our energy up. And you can see that also has a price point of $49.99. And the 70% increase in those NRF1 genes. So then you get to recharge your batteries, feel stronger, be able to recover better, and just have more energy. If your cells have more energy, then you also tend to have more energy in your body. And then the third and final one that I'm going to touch on tonight is our sirtuin decline. So our sirtuins are part of our cell, and they are responsible for our cellular cleanup or the degunking of the cell. So it's normal. We have like this checks and balances system in our body. And when the cells like basically they get gunky, they get garbage in there, and we need to have ability to clean that out to detoxify our cells. And so sirtuins are our body's natural solution to help this. And again, guess what? As we age, as we are impacted by all these different stresses, our sirtuin production slows over time. And so the solution that was found for this area of concern for aging is the NAD pathway. And the NAD pathway is what is responsible for our sirtuin production. These are all natural ingredients, meaning that they are consisting of different herbal ingredients. And with the conjunction of these ingredients they found, it increases our sirtuin activity by 100% in 24 hours. And again, you've got that $49.99 price point. So it really helps the body to just be healthier, to be more vital, and the healthier our cells are, the healthy that we are going to be, because that's all we're made up of is a bunch of cells that help us to function. All right, so then we want to look at what happens when you take all these three different theories and you combine them and flip these switches all at once. So you've got your oxidative stress, your mitochondrial function, and your sirtuins. So what we found is that there's this synergistic effect, meaning that they're more powerful together. You can see on this chart here, it's showing some of the genes that are impacted by these products. The bottom line here, the gray area, that is how the genes are activated with just the Protandim NRF2 alone. And then the blue line shows the increase with the tri-synergizer, meaning all three of the protandims together. And it's quite significant. So you go from 40% to 73%. This NRF2 HMOX1 gene goes from 50% all the way up to 838%, and so on. So you can just see here, it really makes a big difference. And one thing I want to say, before we kind of jump into this is that let me just go back one for just a moment. Sorry. One of the common things I hear is people will say things like, but I'm taking green tea, or I'm taking turmeric, or whatever the various ingredients are. But what I want you to understand is why there are patents on these products is it's about the ratio. The discovery was not just that if you take green tea and this, that's going to be the difference, but think about it like baking a cake. If you bake a cake and you put the incorrect amount of sugar and the incorrect amount of baking soda in, you're not going to come out with the cake. You're not going to have the same impact in your body. So that's something you want to think about. If you are taking these ingredients by themselves, that's great, but it's not going to have that same impact if you're not having it in the proper ratio. All right. So with that, the next question is, are you ready to flip the switch? Do you want to have a supportive, positive mood and motivation to improve your health and longevity, your mental focus and concentration, to have more mental and physical energy? When we don't feel well, it's hard to be joyful. It's hard to feel motivated to go out and exercise and do all the things that we know we need to do that we may just not feel motivated or ready to do. So this is an answer to help your body to heal naturally without all the side effects and to just have more life. I've not seen any one person or animals have a more potent response in quality of life than I have with these products. So with that, as you may have caught on, we have the product known as our Tri-Synergizer, and this includes all three of the protandims together. We call it the Protandim family, NRF2, NRF1, and the NAD. And individually, they're $49.99. If you purchase them together as the Tri-Synergizer, you save about $25 a month. And, so it's basically less than $5 a day to really turn on your body. And I don't know about you, but I have had times in my life when I get into that survival mode and it's in the afternoon and you just want to pick me up. And I've been guilty of like driving into Starbucks and be like, I want to treat myself. And then you buy that like $5 latte that gives you a boost momentarily, but it's not really helping your body to thrive. So, just think about that. What are you doing? Where are you investing your resources? And what are you doing to help your body and your health to really be able to thrive? So you see here, these are all the other areas that this company has expanded into. We have the NRF2 technology and many strong uh, like research with many other of these products. I actually started on the Axio. That was the first product that I utilized. It was when I was in that time of my life that I was working some really wild hours. I had just gone through a divorce and was just kind of trying to figure out my way in life. And the Axio was a lifesaver for me. I got off that Starbucks. I start to feel better in the afternoon. I tend to be a really caffeine sensitive person, so I get the shakes really bad, but the Axio just gave me that really smooth energy. And I was a customer of these products for 3 years before I decided to join the business. And what really inspired me to join the business was my experience with my dog on their products. They have a product called Pet Tandem, and it's for the animals because people were giving their dogs and their horses this Pro Tandem. And so I adopted a 7-year-old Great Dane. And when I adopted her, her foster mom said, hey, she's had some health issues. She doesn't have a whole lot of energy. And so I was like, all right. I lived in an apartment in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. And we just started taking short walks in the morning. About a month into, her name was Lola being on these products. One day we were out for a walk and I had this nice open field area where she got to be off leash when we walked. And one day she literally just took off and started like galloping and running. And I was like, what is going on? I like took a little video on my phone and like came back and like told my husband, and he was like, what? She was running? And that became her theme, is that we'd walk and then she just would like have these moments along our walk that she just wanted to go run. And unfortunately, she only lived about another year and a half after that. She had a tragic accident when she jumped out of a higher portion of a car and fractured her back. But what really spoke to my heart is that she had a high quality of life at the end of her life. And that's my goal, not just for myself, but for people in general, is to have a high quality of life, to feel good in your bodies, to be able to play with your grandchildren, and to really be able to enjoy. So as you see here, we're not going to dig deep into these other products, but we have a beautiful line. We have hair care, we have skin care that has studies done by Louisiana State University on like different skin cancers and how NRF2 activation can just be supportive in that. Again, we don't prevent, cure, anything like that, but just there are studies done on these various products. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Kathy Enking. She is a nurse. She is a functional nutritionist, and she's been involved with these products for just over 7 years. So Kathy, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Shanna. That was incredible. I always get excited when I hear this information shared by different people, because everybody, has had different experiences, all phenomenal. And, as Shanna was saying, is like each one of these products alone really could be a category, a company themselves, because they all are category creating. Like Shanna said, the Axio is that executive brain function drink. Our probiotic and our skincare and hair care have patented technologies. We're not a weight loss company, but we have things to help you support healthy weight loss. And basically an omega that goes from the boat to the bottle, extremely clean. So these are incredible products. And all right, I'm going to check and make sure that I can, oh, you're going to forward for me. Yay, that's even better. So essentially stories are better when you share them. So you've heard about these phenomenal products. And you guys, what happened for me, I'll just tell you a little bit about my story. So a number of years back, my background is nursing, nutritional therapy. I've done a lot of movement therapy, different kinds of movement and things like that. And you guys, so I always had my radar up for things that were out there that could help me improve my health. And like many of us out there, I was having some low mood, low energy. I was, having some gut issues, things like that. And so my radar really went up when I learned about these products. And you guys, this information, I didn't go out there looking for it. It actually found me. I received a cold call one day from a woman who saw that I was a nutritional therapist and having a workshop. And she offered to share this information to me. And what she didn't know is that I really was searching for something in my life, not just better health, because I, for the most part, pretty much had my health, but I was looking for an opportunity. I was looking for a way that I could improve our family's life, increase our income, because you guys, there are moments in life, in everybody's life, where things just don't go the way that you planned. And do you have a backup plan? Do you have a strategy in place in case, right, what's happening right now? We have an uncertain economy. People are very concerned about their health. Those are the two most common things that people talk about and have concerns over. So I was just blessed to be introduced to this information and now have incorporated into my family's health strategy, and then also decided to take this on as a business, not because I was a business person, but because I was open and I was coachable and I was teachable and I wanted to learn. So that's a little bit about my story. You can go ahead, Shanna. And so I just want to talk a little bit tonight, just to wrap things up, and talk a tiny bit about the business here and about LifeVantage and who we are. So we are an 11-year-old company headquartered in Utah. We are publicly traded on the NASDAQ, as Shanna had mentioned. And a year ago, we actually closed Wall Street for Wellness Week. We rang the closing bell, which is a pretty big honor, you guys, for a company to be able to do that. Okay, next slide. And here's the thing, is that, like I was saying before, we have these trends going on right now, and everything is changing out there. And and what we're seeing now is that wellness is at the top of the chart for trends out there in the world. Everybody is looking right now for ways to stay healthy. And again, we've got all of these different categories covered. We've got the anti-aging, we've got skincare with studies behind it. We've got phenomenal hair care with patented technology. We've got the pet care, right? Everybody's got a pet now or adopting a pet. And then we've got something for that brain focus. And also, we know that obesity is on the rise in this country. And so getting rid of some of that extra weight is really super important to our health. So these are all categories. Used to be the cosmetic industry kind of led the way, but now what's happening is that has switched and wellness is really leading the way. So there were people that predicted back in the early 2000s that there were going to be more millionaires made through the wellness industry than ever before within the next 20 years. And here we are now, 2021. So this is really the perfect model. Right now, with what's going on in our world, having a home-based business is just a really, really good idea. You guys, you get tax write-offs. You can build a business from home, and most of us are home now. And a lot of us started out just building this in their part-time. You guys, when I got started in this, I was working another job. And so I talked to people on my commute, during my lunch hour, things like that, in the evening when I came home. And there is a low entry cost with a lot of these types of companies. I mean, if you think about starting a traditional brick and mortar business, how much do you have to invest in order to get that up and running? This is a small fee to get started in a business where you have the opportunity to actually make as much money as you want, really. And again, we don't make any kind of claims that you will make a certain amount of money. But like I said, if you are coachable and you are a good student and you show up for the various trainings that the company offers and that your team members offer, you can participate in this. And you guys, when I got started, I really didn't think about how much I wanted to make. I just kind of jumped in and got started. But if you look at those numbers in the second column, the average monthly commissions, where where would you like to be? Like, how much extra money would make a difference for you every single month? Initially I thought, like, well, that 1,500 mark looks pretty good. But now I've got my sights set a little bit higher than that. And I know that it is possible because, I was making money the very first month. And you guys, this is real. And um, all you have to do is just really follow the leader. And don't give up, don't quit. And everybody goes through ups and downs in life. We have times where we've got to tend to family members. For all of us, family comes first, and that is our most important thing. And so this is the type of business where you can work it in your part-time and you don't have to answer to anybody. And so that makes it a beautiful business model for family. A lot of people just want to bring a spouse home from work. And it's very doable with this. And people are doing this within, a very short period of time. And when you lead, you basically, that Elite Pro 7 rank that Shauna's got highlighted right now, this is our elite level. And it gives you the opportunity to participate in a global wellness share, a pool that is international. And so that's a really, really exciting. And you guys, we're moving into other countries right now. Our business is expanding. Our product line is expanding. But as you can see, we don't have a lot of products. That one slide that you saw, that's the bulk of our products. I know other companies have catalogs and catalogs of products. Everything that we do is very science-based. So we have different ways to get started. We have a starter kit. We have 3 different enrollment packs based on where you are. We meet you where you're at. But let me just tell you, take a look at those savings, because when you get started with one of our enrollment packs, that's an opportunity for you to purchase more product in case you want to sell some of that or you want to share it with other family members. And it's anywhere from a 31 to 35% savings on some really great products that you will use for sure. You guys, when I got started almost 8 years ago, we only had one product, and that was Protandim. And now things have really expanded. So you'll see that, like, for instance, in this platinum pack that's highlighted, that's basically almost $2,000 worth of products for $12.50. So you get a 35% savings. And if you're interested, we can get you a list of what's available in each one of the packages. But you can also just get started as a customer, and our customers actually pay the same price that we do. So that's really wonderful. And you guys, like, literally 80 to 90% of my business is customers. So we are a customer-driven company. But you might be curious. So you're asking yourself, can I do this? And that's really what I was saying to myself is, could I do this? And then I just thought, why not? What am I doing for the next 5 years or even 10 years to change my life and to improve my family's personal economy, to improve my own personal economy? You guys, I don't have to rely on a boss. I don't have to go to a job and worry about losing it. It's a good idea in this economy to have a plan B, right? So what do we get with this? It's pretty cool. You get global customer support, and we have a simple system. It's called Invite Tool Team, ITT system. We've got skill set, mindset, and leadership training. We have regular corporate events, which I'm sure will be resuming probably sometime in the next year, different incentives and perks, and private support communities. And so that's really essentially, but the other thing that you get, Here, one of the things that you get is you get a website, you guys. And if you have not seen our website, it is incredible. So the company maintains that for you. And so some of the things that we've highlighted within the last few years is that we are actually considered one of the best places to work for the third year running. And go ahead, Shanna, you could just pull those up. And we opened in Ireland a little over a year ago. We've got Erin Brockovich on our board of directors, you guys. If you don't know who she is actually the woman that Julia Roberts played in the movie. And so that's really exciting. We've won a couple of different Stevie Awards, business awards, which is like the Oscars of business, for our products being innovative and first to market. And we were added to the Russell 3000 index. Like I said, we're LifeVantage Corporation on the NASDAQ, LFVN. So these are some pretty exciting things. We've opened in New Zealand, we're open in Australia. And let's see. Oh yeah, we introduced free shipping last year, which is really awesome. So you get wholesale pricing, you get the free shipping, and then we also rang the closing bell last year, which was a really huge highlight for our company. And you guys, we are pioneering something really, really special here. And let me just say that we are not just another network marketing company. As you saw with that ABC primetime, that's where we got started. You know, there was a discovery made in a lab. And ABC News went in to investigate to see whether or not the claims that they were making about this product were real. And what they ended up happening was that they did a live blood test on national news. And you guys, that started everything. So that's why we kind of go back to that foundation and we share that information with you. But now this industry is moving forward. And we are learning about flipping the switch on all these genes. And the other thing that I really love is our company loves to give back. So we've gone down to Mexico. We've built homes for families that virtually have no shelter. And we're providing safe haven for them, for families, working families. And a number of years back, my family went down there. We helped build houses. And it was just really an enriching experience. So anyway, tonight, if you're asking yourself that question, you know, what do I do next? Maybe you just need more information. Get back to whoever invited you to this call, and we're happy to share whatever information that you need to know. You can become a customer. So that's wonderful. All of our subscription customers get the same price as distributors. And then maybe you're thinking about joining the team. So that's another conversation. If you are interested in learning more about the business, there's absolutely no obligation. We're happy to share, you know, what our compensation structure is like, and see if it's something that fits your lifestyle, because that's really what it's about. It's just, is this the right timing, and is it right for you? Because it's all about timing. But I'll tell you right now, this is the place to be with this company, because never before, or it's been a long time since we have had something of this magnitude that is changing really the face of human health as we know it right now. And I'm just so excited to be on the forefront of this, and, you know, to be first. That's just a really exciting place to be. And again, it's not about, it's about changing people's lives to the point that they're feeling better in their lives, you know? So we're just so excited that you came and listened to this information tonight. And I want to thank you too, Shanna, for joining me. And we will let you guys get back to your families. But again, if you have any other questions, we can absolutely get information to you. So I'm going to say good night, and I am going to just stop the recording, and have a blessed evening, everyone.